What's up YouTube, it's your boy Car Venture Reg and welcome back to another video. And in today's video, this will be the used car buying guide for the Infiniti G35. So I'm going to be showing you guys everything that you need to look out for when you are buying a Infiniti G35. So let's go ahead and let's get into the video. So the first thing you should do when buying this car used is that you should simply walk around the car. Now you want to make sure all the bumpers is intact, make sure everything is aligned. As you can see right here, everything is in line. Everything is aligned, boom, 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 boom. And you want to just simply walk around the car. You know what I'm saying? You want to make sure that if this is a clean title that they advertise, you want to make sure that it's a clean title. You want to make sure everything is aligned. You want to make sure ain't no mismatched bumpers on there or nothing. You know what I'm saying? You want to make sure everything is good. So if I was looking at this car, I'd be like, okay, it passed. Step one is passed. Another thing, what you should do is you should look inside the car. So you should get in the car. Well, first you should look inside and make sure, you know, the seats is in good condition. Another thing when you're buying a used car is that if the person kept up the inside, then 9 times out of 10 they kept up with the whole car. You know what I'm saying? So you want to make sure that it's clean. Like not every car, not every G35 is going to be this clean. You know what I'm saying? It might be maybe a little rip in the seat, or this is the part right here where it start ripping. You can see mine is already starting to get that little legendary G35 rip. Those is okay, but you don't want to see no big gash right in the middle, big gashes right in the middle. You know, you want to kind of stay away from stuff like that. So another thing, after you look inside the car, you want to simply pop the hood. Now, I'm not a mechanic, but you want to look for any visible leaks. So you want to look at the valve covers. Make sure you don't see any valve covers leaking. Make sure you don't see anything leaking in the front. Make sure you don't see anything leaking on this side. And then if the car is cool, it's always best to look at a car when the car is cool. Now, I just got done driving this car, obviously, but another thing you want to check is the coolant. You want to make sure the coolant is nice and clean. You want to make sure they have the right amount of oil up in there, if it's clean or not, you know what I'm saying? So those will be like the visual checks of like, okay, did that pass the test? Obviously, this car is going to pass the test. So after I pop open the hood and I look at everything, like I said, I'm looking at all the leaks. I'm checking this. I'm checking the coolant. I'm checking the power steering fluid. I'm checking the oil. I'm just going around, just checking. I might look right here just to make sure nothing is leaking or dropping on the floor or whatever. Then if that checks out, like this car checks out, then it's cool. So I'll close it. So after you look in the hood, you'll be like, okay, everything is cool. And like I said, it's always best if you're buying a car used to make sure they keep the car cool. So you can check all the fluids, everything will be good. And then what you'll want to do is, of course, you want to start the car. Make sure everything works. Make sure the radio works. If they have the OEM radio, make sure it works. Check the AC. Make sure it blows nice cold air. You can do the same thing for the heater. Make sure it blows nice and hot. And then you want to, you know, kind of play with everything. You know what I'm saying? You want to just do this. Does the lock button work? Does it unlock? See, this one is starting to go out, I ain't gonna lie. Does the windows work? Does it roll back up? Does this one work? Does it roll back up? Now, I ain't gonna lie, my sunroof just stopped working. Well, it's misaligned, so I need to go ahead and get it fixed. So I'm not gonna do that, but you wanna make sure that the sunroof works. Everything, you know, checks out. And then what you wanna do is you wanna press the brake and you wanna just go in each gear. Make sure everything goes in gear just fine. So yeah, so after you do that, you know, you want to put it back in park, kind of let the car warmed up. But since this car is warmed up, you know, give it a little rev too. Can't hurt with that, can't hurt with a little rev. So the biggest thing, what you guys need to do when you're checking out a G35 is that you need to test drive it. So how to properly test drive a car is that you'll want to put it in, you know, drive. If it's an automatic, you want to just, the first thing what you need to do is you need to look out for any noises. So if you turn in a wheel, you notice that you're hearing a noise, or if you're starting to hear like, you know, knocking sounds, like you'll want to really pay attention to the noises. You know what I'm saying? Like if the car is making noises and stuff like that, because like I said, once the car is warmed up, that's when you'll know if it's, you know, good or not. So that's the first thing that you need to be checking. So the first thing what you want to do is kind of drive slow, be easy on it, and just look out for any noises. Make sure the car rides smooth, make sure the suspension feels smooth, and all of that, because you guys are investing you guys money into a car. You want to make sure it is a working car. So this is the first thing that you do. Always listen out for noises. Always listen out for noises. So then I'm gonna show you phase 2 once we get on the streets. All right, so phase 2. If it is a modern car, always put it in manual mode. And what I do is I'll go ahead and shift it. Like, okay, third gear works perfectly. We're gonna give it a nice good pull. My bad, y'all. I'm trying to do 2 things at once right now. And you just want to kind of go through all the gears, and you want to make sure that everything is okay. Everything is okay. And you know, you could do that on the streets, or you could do that on the freeway. It don't matter, but make sure all the gears is okay, because like I said, you know, you want to make sure everything is good, and you will know that you will know if something's not right if it shifts hard, or if the transmission starts slipping and stuff like that. So that's a test that I like to use for the transmission. So then while I'm on the test drive too, I always like to take it on the freeway. So we're gonna take it on the freeway. We're gonna do a complete used car buying guide. So we're gonna go on the freeway, and then also kind of give it a good pull. Does it pull? Is it good? Does it sound healthy? You know what I'm saying? You wanna check out all these things. Like I said, the main thing that you need to do when you're on the test drive, you need to listen for noises. You need to put the car in manual mode, shifting in each gear, make sure each gear works properly. If it's a modern day like car, you know what I'm saying? If it's like one of those old Hondas or whatever, you know what I'm saying? And I'm really talking about the G35s, but you know, people may watch it just cause, you know, this is like kind of reference for all cars, but you know how YouTube is, you got to put, you know, the keywords so you can kind of get views. But if you are watching this video and you're not planning to buy a G35, this works for any car. But like the point that I was trying to make is that you don't want to do that to older Hondas, you know what I'm saying? Like, even though they be having like D1, D2, D3, D4, don't do that, because that's not really what, you know, it's made for. And those cars is kind of old. This car is a little bit more modernized, so I would definitely, you know, try manual mode just to see how, you know, it shifts each gear. How you would do that for like older Honda is that you'll just drive, you know, normal, and just see if each gear shifts properly. But you know, and you could do that too with the G35, but I just like to make sure everything works when I'm buying a car personally, because like I said, it's my hard-earned money, and I want to make sure that everything is okay. You know what I'm saying? Everything is okay. So right now we're about to get on the freeway. So you'll want to get on the freeway, of course, so you can go freeway speeds. So we're getting on the freeway right now. And then around this time, since you are, you know, really test driving a car, you want to look at that temperature gauge too. You want to make sure the temperature is not running hot. You want to make sure all the gauges is working properly and everything, you know what I'm saying? Like, this is a whole little rundown little test. So you want to make sure everything is good, you know what I'm saying? And around this time, since you drove the car, you know, you did a little bit of pull in it. Now you'll want to focus on the temperature gauge, especially since you're going at a good speed. And since you're on the freeway and you are going at good speed, still listen out for any noises that you may hear. You know what I'm saying? Any unknown noises, you don't want the car. You know what I'm saying? If it don't sound right, if it don't sound smooth, if it's not driving smooth, you do not want the car. And look at that, man. It's a fire going on. That's crazy. A whole fire. That's how you know it's getting hot out here in California. Here come the wildfires. Back onto the video. You want to make sure everything is running smooth. You want to make sure everything is running at the right temperature. You don't want things to run too hot and you don't want to hear no weird noises or nothing like that. So like I said, you want to just drive it on the freeway, just take it up an exit, and you can do another pull on the freeway or whatever, you know, just to get like, you know, a good pull in, just so you can see that, you know, it still has that power or whatever. So now we're gonna go back to the spot to where I was at, and then I would talk about what you should look for the last and final steps. So this is one of the last steps. You kind of want to just fool around up in here, you know, you play with a couple of more buttons just to make sure everything is working right. You know what I'm saying? With this, make sure everything is right, make sure everything is cool. Do your last little look around, and then you want to go right here. Look at the temperature, you know what I'm saying? You want to look at the temperature, because now when the car is parked and it's just idling, you want to make sure the temperature stays in the same spot after the car has been warmed up, it's been driven, and all of that. Just so you know that the car is not running hot and you won't have a potential head gasket problem or any other problem or overheating problem. You do not want that. So let's say if everything checks out, right? So you'll turn the car off, you'll go out to the front of the car, make sure you don't smell no burning or like no oil or just anything, you don't see no smoke coming out from the front. And let's say everything checks out, go ahead and buy that car, bro. But what I want to tell you guys too, this is what I forgot to tell you guys in the beginning, is that you want to make sure you get maintenance records too. You want to make sure you get maintenance records. You want to make sure this car has been kept up, because a lot of people abuse these cars, and you don't want to be the one who get an abused car and then have to deal with somebody else's mess. You want a nice clean car that has been maintained properly, so when you buy it, you can go ahead and keep up with it and it won't be a headache. These cars can be a headache if you buy this car from somebody who abused it. It can be a headache, you know what I'm saying? You're gonna have to do a whole lot of stuff, you know. You might have engine problems, transmission problems, a whole bunch of stuff. So my best advice is always buy something that's clean, someone who has the maintenance records, service records, it's a clean title and all of that. You know what I'm saying? You want to make sure you do that just so you can save yourself a headache. You won't have to worry about stuff coming up, you know what I'm saying, that you don't have to pay for if they kept the car clean. Another thing, personally, I don't like buying modded cars. I don't like buying other people's modded cars. So that comes with, like, you know, exhaust or intake or whatever. I like the car to be bone stock. I do not want somebody else's mods on the car. I want it straight. I want it clean. I want it stock. I'm not against it, you know what I'm saying? If the car is clean and it's clean, but personally for me, I always look for stock cars. I don't want anybody mods. I don't want anybody mods. I don't want no muffler delete. I don't want no resonator delete. I don't want no full exhaust. I don't want nothing. I just want everything stock, how the way it come on the car, so I know that I have all the parts and everything is good, you know what I'm saying, with the car. This is everything, man, like, you know, from, you know, walking around the car, from looking at it to make sure everything is good, you know, from test driving it to looking inside the interior, making sure, you know, you don't have overheating problems and all that. So I hope you guys paid attention to this video. I hope you guys liked this video. If you guys did, go ahead and leave me a like. I'm trying to get to 10,000 subscribers at the end of the year, man, so you guys can help me out tremendously by liking the video, also commenting and let me know that if this was a good video for you guys. Let me know in the comment, and also if you haven't subscribed yet, go ahead and subscribe right now. Really want 10,000 subscribers by the end of the year. I've been putting in the work, so let's see if we could get to 10,000 subscribers by the end of the year. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you guys did, like I said, like the video, help me out. I appreciate you guys, and I'll catch y'all in the next one. Peace.